All right, our next story here is from the AITA subreddit and is titled, Am I the Astronaut for Banning My Husband's Sister from My House Until She Uses the Names of My Twins? I, 38 female, am married with 2 children, twins, Amy and Nina. 6 female. We live in the same town as most of his families in the house I inherited from my grandfather. It is the biggest house in the family, so we often host family gatherings. My husband's youngest sister, Jane, 31 female, has been traveling for work ever since her early 20s. Mid-2022, she moved in with her fiancé about a half-hour drive away from us. After that, Jane shows up regularly at family gatherings and rebuilds relationships with her family members. The only thing she never bothers to do is address my daughters by their names. Amy and Nina are identical twins. I understand when people refer to them as the twins, but I think it's important that their individuality is respected. I always tell family and friends that now that they are 6 years old, it is important for them to have their own identity, and if possible, please treat them as individuals rather than a pair or a unit. My girls have different interests and hair/dressing styles, so it's not hard to tell them apart. Jane always insists on calling the girls the twins and makes no effort to distinguish them. I asked her many times to treat them as individuals, like her other nieces and nephews, and Jane said, okay, and then would keep doing the same thing. Last Christmas, Amy made paper cranes and Nina painted flower pictures as their Christmas gifts to everyone in the family. They signed their names and individually handed the gift to everyone. Jane's fiancé had to work this year and did not join us, so after brunch, she video called him in the living room while the rest of us did our things nearby. Her fiancé saw the crane in her hand and asked where she got it, and Jane said, oh, one of the twins gave it to me for Christmas. The other twin drew me some flowers. I felt that this was disrespect, as my girls put a lot of effort into the gifts and deserve to have their private dedication recognized. When everyone left, I told Jane I expected her to call my girls Amy and Nina from now on and to treat them like individuals and know their differences. Jane said that she won't bother as my girls are too young. So I told her she is banned from my house until she learns how to address my girls by their names. Jane just stomped off. My husband agreed with me on this. A few days ago, my mother-in-law called to plan my husband's birthday in early February. I told her we could have a party at my house like usual, but Jane would not be invited. My mother-in-law was alarmed and asked why, and when she learned of what happened, she was mad at Jane. I am shooketh. Jane called me a few hours ago, calling me an asshole for making a big deal out of something insignificant. She said my girls would be known as the twins whether I like it or not. Once they get older, people will recognize them as individuals, but not now when they're young and just another couple of girls. She said she deserves to be with her family for her brother's birthday, and I need to let it go. Am I the astronaut? Yeah, are there any twins in chat? Any twins? How big of a deal was this to you? How big of a deal was it for you to have individual distinction rather than being referred to as the twins? Okay, yeah. So even I think this could be demonstrated to Jane by calling her brother's sister, right? Or just sister, or woman. It could be any number of things where you could easily demonstrate this to her and show her how it doesn't make sense and how it's not cool. The bottom line is it comes down to this. It's your house. She doesn't gain access just because she wants it. She's not entitled to entry to your house for any event. If she wants to come into your house, she's going to show the proper respect. You have made it as easy as possible. It's not a difficult thing to do. Short of putting name tags on them, you have made it a turnkey solution. It is so simple for her to just start doing this properly. And if she is not willing to show respect to your girls, she doesn't get to be there. It's pretty freaking simple. Even the mother-in-law agrees. And listen, folks, if the mother-in-law agrees, it's a no-brainer here. Because normally, if anybody was going to be like, oh, that seems rash. That's unfortunate that you would be so volatile about such a simple thing. No, she knows it is a big deal. And Jane to come back and say, you're an asshole for making a big deal out of something so insignificant. Tell me that you don't get it without telling me that you don't get it, Jane. How hard is it? How insignificant is it Is it for you to just use these two proper nouns instead of saying the twins? Is it hard? Is it difficult for you, Jane? Is it like really taxing on your fragile brain? Is it just too much? Is it just too much to expect? Because everyone else in the whole family can do it but you, Jane. I mean, my husband's sister. I mean, female. I mean, woman. I mean, human. Is it that hard? It's pretty easy. It's pretty easy. And guess what? As soon as you start doing that pretty easy thing, I'll do a pretty easy thing of my own and say, yes, you may come to my husband's birthday party. Is it worth it? Seems like it's more pain. It's more pain to choose this hill to die on and say, no, I will not use their names. I will call them the twins and cause myself all kinds of pain and discomfort and turmoil and drama by being excluded from things, because that seems like the easier thing to do, right, Jane? I don't understand. Yeah, she said so many things in here, like they're just another couple of girls, a couple of insignificant girls. Something so insignificant. Like I don't know if she's actively belittling them or if she's just lazy or if she's just an asshole. I don't know. But she doesn't get to bitch about not being included if she's not willing to get on board. It's as simple as that. And it is not a difficult thing to do, Jane. You're just being an asshole.